Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Men's crowns are being taken. Lord said, take heed, no man take your crown. And what these wicked men are doing in this truth, they're actually taking your crown away from you. Your crown being Yahawashi. Your crown goes into your head. And they're making man your head. They're making men, they're mastering you. They're lording over you. And that's why the Lord said in Revelation, take heed that no man take thy crown. Your crown of the Lord. Standing stiffly for the name of the Lord and his gospel and his word. And thereby receiving a crown, an everlasting crown that fadeth not away from the hand of Yahawashi.
Not be surprised, because I'm finna tell y'all one thing. Ain't nothing that happened in this world but one thing. And that one thing is, the Bible is fulfilling itself. Everything that the Bible said was gonna happen is happening. So why be surprised if we read our Bible, we would know. Why to be surprised about something that we done read about that we already know that is gonna happen? Why? Even at my age, I'm not even afraid or scared about nothing that's going on in this earth today, such as coronavirus, such as this new virus they got out, which is Delta virus.
In the meantime, the Taliban is killing people in Afghanistan that they find with copies of the Bible on their mobile phones. According to a SAT-7, an organization that broadcasts Christian programs to churches and Christians in the Middle East and North Africa, the Taliban is using spies and informants to persecute the Christian minority in the country. Reliable sources are telling them that the Taliban demand people's phones, and if they find a downloaded Bible on your device, they will kill you immediately. It's incredibly dangerous right now for Afghans to have anything Christian on their phones. The Taliban have spies and informants everywhere. It goes on finally to report that now that the Taliban has seized power, Christians who are already being forced to conceal their beliefs for fear of retribution are reportedly being targeted and murdered for their faith. So certainly a very severe situation in Afghanistan right now. And so we really do need to keep our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan in our prayers. In the meantime, a former White House physician stated on Friday that Joe Biden is no longer prepared to be president and that he should resign. He said that we're looking horrible right now on the world stage. This is an absolute national embarrassment. And instead of being out in front of this and talking about what's going on and what went wrong and what the plan was and what we're going to do next, Biden's just in hiding, as he always has been. And this doesn't inspire any confidence in our allies. As a matter of fact, all of our allies are very upset with this. As of today, the Brits, the Germans, the French, they're very upset with us for pulling out. And we really didn't even give them a heads up. We put them in a bad position too. They have people stuck in Afghanistan, and as I reported, they're going in to get them out. But he continued to state that this is a horrible situation for this country. Biden once again has failed us. He's embarrassed us internationally. And honestly, it is a time for him to leave. I've been saying...
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahawashi, Waharakakadash. Double honors to the elders, not of camps. This truth has gone past camps. Double honors to the elders that are in the spirit. The authority of Yahawashi, you few men, you few chosen, the real house of David. And going into what's happening in the world, you know, it's marvelous in our eyes. And the holy apostles and prophets, the true, we're rejoicing in all these things because the wicked is being revealed, the sons of perdition. And when you look at like what's going on with Biden, you know, they're saying that his physician's saying he's not able to rule, he's not able to lead a nation anymore. It's heavy because as that's happening to America and to Esau, it's also happened with our own nation, Israel. And you got elders, right, that have been in the truth for a long, long time, but them being so honored and so exalted has actually gone to their head, and now they're vile. See, the Lord said the vilest men are exalted on every side, even in this truth. So a lot of guys in this truth that claim to be elders, that's why we call you guys elderly, because you should be in a retirement home, because you're losing your senses. You guys are losing their mind. They're losing the mind of Yahawashi, being humble, being lowly, learning of the Lord. And they can no longer lead our people nowhere good. See, they're going out. They're going out, and their light has gone out. And looking at that young boy, he didn't have the fear of saying coronavirus or the Delta virus or this or that. You see? So what the Lord is showing is what he's dealing with: the little children, the babes, the young ones, the ones that are still full of life, that are still full of strength. You see? And that's what Yahawashi said he was happy for. He's like, I'm glad you hid this from the wise, you've hid this from the old and the men that think they know it all, but you revealed it to babes. And that whole situation in Afghanistan where they're like killing off Christians if they have a Bible on their phone, well, if you have the faith and if you truly believe, you're going to be persecuted. Some of us might die, yeah, but at the end of the day, there's no such thing as death if you're in Yahawashi. He's taken care of that. And that's that last enemy we have to take care of, is sin and death in us. And that's what we're doing, man, every day, and it's a beautiful thing. So the only reason you're going to be persecuted or attacked is if you actually have faith. So the reason why a lot of guys aren't getting attacked, aren't being persecuted, is because they don't have the faith. And actually, they're the ones that's persecuting the church. And it's no longer the camp. Forget GMS, forget Sakari, forget ICPK, all these different camps. That's not the true church of the living power. That's the church of dead powers, man. False gods, idolatry, den of thieves. You see? Hate, they teach you how to have contention and strife, of malice. You see? So, this is 2 Samuel 21 and 17. So going into how, you shouldn't really have, because that's what this world promotes as well. You can't be a president unless you're 45 whatever plus years. And they inaugurate all these old men that are on their way out. And really, when you start getting old, that's when you start to lose your senses. You start to lose your hearing. You start to lose your memory. You start to forget where you put things. And just as America is being clothed with shame, a lot of you guys in truth are being clothed with shame. You're not being clothed with the Spirit of the Lord or being clothed with Yahawashi. You're not putting on as the elect. You're just talking a big talk like you're for the elect, but you're not. That guy from Carolina, Cora. That guy from Dallas, Dathan. And all these other guys, man. Lukewarm, California. They denied the call of Yahawashi, and now in the time of the Lord denying them. And he's sentencing you through the few. Us, we're handing you your sentence. All right, 2 Samuel 21:17. But Abishai the son of Zeruiah succored him and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David swear unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. So even with David, when he started to get old in age, there came a time for him to what? To settle down and give the torch to someone else, and that someone else was Solomon, his son, that no one really expected to be. They thought it was to be his firstborn or someone of a legitimate marriage. No, but it was of Solomon, the son of the Hittite woman, Uriah the Hittite wife. So the Lord brought that light. The Lord brought the light. He brought the air out of the marriage that was looked down upon, you see, because it was out of adultery, and it was because of one of David's biggest sins, you see. So that's what the Lord tends to do. He brings the best things out of bad situations. Look at Yahawashi. He came out of Nazareth. That's why even the disciples, before they was made disciples of Yahawashi, when they were just getting word of Yahawashi coming, they said, what good thing can come out of Nazareth, you see. Matthew 25 and verse 8, and the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. So the foolish wise, their lamps have gone out. And when you watch that scene from There Will Be Blood, I put up in my last video, you had that false preacher, that false pastor. He came to him in the end, and he was asking him for what? For oil. He was literally asking him to dig oil. And the brother Gabriel, he sent a YouTube video of him on an oil field. So the spirit is really moving right now. And the thing is, with the oil business, it's a very dangerous business. There's people that have died digging oil, so on and so forth. So is very serious. And but yeah, that false prophet, he came to him in the end asking for more oil. His oil had ran out when his oil should have never ran out, because that's the kind of business and money and wealth that is liquidating. It's always coming in. So you have to be very, very wicked and demonic to let that slip. Same thing with guys of this truth. They've let this oil, this truth, this light slip. It's gone out. You see, because they're so occupied with everything else other than the light being Yahawashi. It says, but the wise answer, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye out rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So the door is being shut right now. And the bridegroom, Yahawashi, he's coming. He's here. He's in the midst. You see all these hurricanes. You see all these flooding. You see all these judgment, all these wars, rumors of wars, all this peril in the world. The Lord is visiting the earth right now with judgment. Haiti, so on and so forth. They that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. So you have to be ready right now, man. You have to be ready. Afterward came also other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. You see that? I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour when the Son of Man cometh. Right? And if Yahawashi doesn't know a lot of these foolish virgins that claim to know the name of the Lord, Yahawashi, and this, that, and third, then we don't know them either. And a lot of guys, you're strangers to the Spirit. That's why you don't add unto what we're saying. You don't break bread with us, because you don't have the bread of life. Because you don't have the bread of life, and that's why you can't profess knowledge that you don't have. And what they do is they eat the bread of malice. Okay? 1 Corinthians 5:8, therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. See? So, going into the word malice, kakia, meaning ill will. It says wickedness that is not ashamed to break laws, desire to injure. So these guys, they're all about injurious practices, man. That's they don't make you whole when you're Yahawashi. They actually injure you. They cut the word off from you. They put light for darkness and darkness for light. In that, instead of cutting off things that offend the Spirit and offend the Lord and the little ones, what they do is they keep those things, but what they're cutting off is what? The Spirit and the true men. Oh, don't listen to those guys. You see, they cut us off. They cut us off from the camp. You see? When you go to Job, and the Spirit's really crying out, man. The Spirit is really crying out. The innocent. And it's heavy because you had this sister I seen on the brothers elder brothers comment board, basically saying how, you know, GMS just came on her comment board just rebuking her just because she asked a question. Now I don't know what the question was, but the point of the matter is the Spirit is really revealing a lot of things through women, through little children, through babes, through us. You know what I'm saying? We've only been me personally, I've only been in the truth maybe 4 years, give or take. You know, I don't keep track of that shit. I don't care about how long I've been in the truth. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the truth. The point of the matter is, are you standing up, defending the truth, and striving for the truth unto death right now, man, the present? That's what Lord cares for. He doesn't care what you did 2 days ago. That's over and done. He cares about right now. Are you walking with him presently? Are you with him? You see? Proverbs 4:17, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. You see? So these are them spirits coming back, the same spirits that would no longer walk with Yahawashi because they were offended and they couldn't receive of his similitude and his proverb and parable of you have to drink of my blood and eat of my flesh. And they no longer walk with Yahawashi. We've been past that. They're no longer walking with Yahawashi, and these guys are far away from the Lord. You see? Sirach 10 and 6 says, bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both one commit iniquity, right? So pride is hateful, not just because of the Lord, but also it's hateful before man. Men that are humble, humility. As the proud hate the humility hate the proud, you see? So you really can't hide yourself for what side you stand on or what you're about. 2 Timothy 3 and 12, yeah, and all that will live godly in Yahawashi, Yahawashi shall suffer persecution. You see that? So if you're in Yahawashi, you're godly, you're going to be persecuted. You're not going to be accepted or honored or raised on a high pedestal in this world. You're not going to be given a high seat because it just doesn't mix well. It's like water and oil. It doesn't sink in with each other. But a lot of you guys, you have those positions and you're being famed, right? The famous in the camp. Because you're not godly. You are ungodly. You guys are ungodly. You're not Yahawashi-like. You don't fit the similitude of the prophets because you're not the prophets. You are false prophets. So just like that scene, that guy, he was like, I want you to say you're a false prophet and deny God. Because that's what they're doing. See, with their mouth, they're not doing that. But their actions are saying otherwise. And so we're here to tell you, just say what you're doing. You're a false prophet. You're famous. You're loved of everybody. Everyone favors you. Everyone speaks well of you. You're a false prophet. So did it to the false prophets. And really, you don't believe in God, man. You believe in yourself. You believe in Satan. It says, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. And that's what's happening. Job 21 and 17. How oft... Alright, 16. Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. See, that's why we have been annexed from the camp. We've been separated and cut off from that. You see, we're far away from that. The Lord's taking us away from that because he's going to consume them in a moment. Drastically, man. The Lord's about to do some dramatic things. Every day there's a tornado. Every day there's a warning. There's another hurricane coming up here to the coast of the state I'm in. Hurricane Henry. So it's just one thing out there. The Lord's just bringing blows, man. And he's speaking through his few men. Judgment. Not information and what vocab's doing. Who gives a fuck what vocab is doing, man? The Lord said in Ezra, don't worry about those that perish, but seek those that are godly. Seek those that are in the Lord and comfort them with these words. But you ain't going to be able to comfort nothing if you ain't got the words of Yahawashi. It says, how oft is a candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them. God distributeth sorrows in his anger. You see? So the reason why guys have such a lost, we're at the end of the world, woe is me, and sorrow spirits, because they're not the true holy apostles and prophets. See, the holy apostles and prophets, we're rejoicing. We're happy all these things are happening. We're excited. We're glad. We're tired of this bullshit, man. We're tired of this oppression. We're tired of this, all these deceivers, man. All these devils transform themselves into angels of light, but they're really not angel of dark. They're angel of darkness, man. It says they are stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. So you guys, the Lord, see, before he brings out judgment upon you, he kills you, he's going to make sure that you know it. And that's what we're set up to. We're making it we're making it 100% that you know why you're getting judged. You know why you're not getting delivered by a chariot. That you know why. Because what? You denied the men of the Lord. You hated the Spirit. And so on and so forth. You persecuted those that... And for our good, you reward us evil. You see? Luke 10 in verse 38. Now it came to pass as they went that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Yahawashi's feet and heard his word, right? So this is a parable of how you got a righteous servant and a wicked servant, right? they received the Lord into their house, meaning that we receive the Lord into our mind, into our body, our temple, right? Verse 40. But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. So Martha was all occupied and cared about what? The carnal things, serving the flesh. Yahawashi wasn't worried about the flesh. He was worried about the spirit, the word. See, and Yahawashi answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things. And see, a lot of guys, they're troubled and careful about many things. They're worried about the multitude that's going to perish. They're worried about the heathens. They're worried about Esau. They're worried about what the flesh can do unto them. They're careful and troubled about many things. The many false prophets. That's all they care about. It says, but one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her. Right? And the third part, the elect, it's not going to be taken away from us. We chose Yahawashi. We chose to sit at his feet, listen to his word, rather than clean and take care of the flesh and make sure, you know what I'm saying, things of the outside. It doesn't matter what's with the outside. It matters what's on the inside, the spirit. Proverbs 4:18, but the path of the just is as a shining light that shineth more and more unto that perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. And what are they stumbling at? Yahawashi, the word. So they don't know the word. They don't know the Lord. That's why the Lord's going to say, I never knew you. These guys don't know the Lord, neither does he know them. And just like we are his friends, and he's held back nothing from us as a master holds back from his servant, he's called his friends. He's also making us know that, hey, I don't know them, and you don't know them either for a reason. Because they are wicked. They are not of his fold. They are not of his sheep. They are disobedient. 1 Peter 2 and verse 7, unto you therefore which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word. Being disobedient whereunto also they were appointed. So these men were appointed unto this disobedience. And when you go to disobedient, all right, apiatheo, the Greek word meaning not to allow oneself to be persuaded, right? And we persuade men by the terror of the Lord, not the fear of man. That's two totally different things. When you fear the Lord, you can be courageous, you can be strong, you can be powerful. You can do exploits, as it's written in Daniel. Those that be white shall do exploits. You see? But when you fear and you make man your terror, you get really weak. You know, you won't say stuff. You can't say COVID anymore. You have to say Maxine. You have to say CV 1984. You know, all this code talk. The prophets never did that shit. That subterfuge shit. You see? Not to allow oneself to be persuaded, to refuse or withhold belief. That's why Yahawashi said, if you don't believe that I am he that was foretold to be sent, you shall die in your sins. Same thing with the men of the Lord. If you don't believe what they're saying, and they're keeping the sayings of our Lord, that's what we're doing, then you're going to die. You see? To refuse belief and obedience, not to comply with, right? And everything that we're saying is basically to be what? To be accepted, to be followed. You see? And to be believed. You see, that's why Paul said, follow me as I follow the Lord. So only following those that actually believe in the Lord. Alright, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 9. For God hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach. So we weren't appointed to the wrath, but we're speaking the wrath. We're with the Lord's wrath upon the enemies of the cross, and obtaining salvation of the Lord. Proverbs 13 and 9. The light of the righteous rejoiceth. You see? The light of the righteous rejoiceth. But the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. And they're being put out by the breath of the Lord, the breath of life, because they're full of death. You see? They're not withstanding the rain. They're not withstanding the winds, the different winds of the doctrine. Only by pride cometh contention. You see? That's why they teach of Yahawashi contention and strife. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well advised is wisdom. And we have advisors in the spirit that advise us daily, man, even when we sleep. And it's heavy because I had a dream, which I'm probably gonna let the brothers know, but it was like IUIC and GMS, and it was like doing like this, like, it was weird. It was like a, how can I put this? It was like they was doing like a ceremony together, and there was like an agreement together. But then on camera, they act like they're against each other, just like Esau. He puts the left and the right, the Democrat, the Republican. So it's a lot of demonic, wicked shit happening in the world right now. Revelation 18:20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. So, Lord, he's avenging us on this wicked kingdom, and this wicked world, and these wicked men that don't have the faith and don't really believe, but be deceiving and lying like they do. Luke 12 and verse 35, let your loins be girded about and your lights burning, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord. See, a lot of guys, they couldn't wait. They wasn't patient because they couldn't suffer anymore. They said, nah, I got to take the bag. I got to do something. I got to get reward. I got to get this. When he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. So you have to have your ears open to the Spirit. So those servants that wait and are ready at any moment, they're the ones that are blessed, keeping their attention on the Spirit of the Lord. Verse 40, but be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. So you have to have the thoughts of the Lord. You can't lean on your own understanding, because he's coming at an hour at a time, a moment when you think not, when you don't expect it, when you least expect it, like a thief. Surprise, man, and rapidly our redemption draweth nigh, brethren. Acts 8, and I want to get this point too, and I'm going to close out. Acts chapter 8 and verse, because this is when that guy, he wanted to buy the Holy Spirit of power and healing from Peter. You see? So, this is verse 22. It says, repent therefore of this thy wickedness, and pray God, if perhaps the thought of thine heart may be forgiven thee. For I perceive that thou art in the gall of bitterness and in the bond of iniquity. Whew. Then, now here's the point of 24. Then answered Simon and said, pray ye to the Lord for me, that none of these things which ye have spoken come upon me. So, when the true men of the Lord that are truly sent of the Lord and, truly believe in the Lord, when they speak things, they come to pass, they happen. So, the interesting thing about Simon, the special thing about Simon compared to everybody else that was being wicked, is that he actually said, pray that none of these things that you said come upon him. So, that's the spirit you have to be in when you get rebuked of the Lord. But a lot of guys are not in this humble spirit. They're in a proud spirit where they're not saying, don't pray for me. They're not saying, oh, I hope that none of these things you say happen upon me. They're just proud as hell. You see, they say that no evil can touch them. You see, that's why evil is coming to their house, man, in their camps. I'll read that again. Then answered Simon and said, pray to the Lord for me, that none of these things which ye have spoken come upon me. So when the men of the Lord speak, then guess what follows? Judgment. Guess what follows? The sword. Yahawashi, killing. The Lord kills, he kills, he makes alive. That's what follows. So once you hear this word, it's either the Lord's he's gonna quicken you, he's gonna make you alive in him and live in him, or he's gonna kill you. That's what we're doing. We're bringing hither and slaying all those that don't want the Lord to reign over them. You see, we're in very detrimental times. We're compassed with enemies on all sides. So make the watch strong. Have your loins girt, your lights burning, and comfort one another with these words. Edify, build up, strengthen with these words. Not words of men or a camp or my camp's the greatest or we have 100% truth. Hell no. Building up on our most holy faith of Yahawashi. Shalom.